So last time I was pretty close, but you kind of do have like in Joe Rogan, like you gotta speak into the mic. You don't have to get like crazy.
Just really close.
But just
the car.
Don't like
the car handled really.
the car handled really.
Felt like I was on the space.
Yeah, just don't like speak to that or to me. Speak to the microphone.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Okay. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is the Unprofessional Podcast. As my equipment gets better and I get more professional, I'm just gonna like leave a plate of like crumbs out and like a half-eaten sandwich. Be like, oh, sorry guys, just doing some light reading and snacking. I don't know.
Because it's unprofessional.
Or I'll do the sewing machine between us, which is a pretty good, like very odd. I don't think I like the security clearance podcast. I don't think.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it not good?
I don't know. It seems too like rah, you know?
I thought that's what we were about.
I mean, it is with you.
Kill?
Rah. I kept doing that during the inspection today. And they were like, where's the next uniform inspection? I was like, the chow hall. Where? DFAC. Where? The food place. He's like, what time? 7. I'm like, is it? Yeah, I don't fucking know. Anyway.
And we're back to our podcast, episode 2.
We're back to our podcast. I looked through the other one. It will get uploaded one day. It's just too big of a file and I need a computer. One of the things, like, as soon as I was getting to my point, you're like, I have to pee. And you, like, got up and went to the bathroom. I was talking about 0352s, light armored recon, some other people, weapons company inside of a... Excuse her. Shut your mouth. They're infantry technically, but they're borderline pogues because they drive everywhere.
So does like...
And I'm not saying like they don't know their weapon systems and they're not vital. I'm not saying that about any pogue, person other than grunt. Mm-hmm. But those people, especially like we ran into some light armored recon, you're like, recon, huh? They're like, yeah. You're like, you drive around in a vehicle. Like, so? Recon, this isn't the title. Like, all right, bud. And it's like, be proud of what you do,
Yeah.
But don't be a fucking... They had this one guy show up to weapons company while I was changing over to dog company because they were turning them into a line unit and dispersing the vehicles. Jesus. And they had this guy showed up. He became like a JTAC, which means he did like ordnance,
like the joint terminal.
Yeah, it's a death sentence in a good way because I think he was either like a sergeant or a staff sergeant, or he was like looking to pick up staff and like you move up quickly. It's $1 million school because you drop $1 million of ordnance, and once you're that, you're that. But he showed up and he's like, I used to be Motor T before I was a JTAC, so basically I was a grunt with a license, and everyone's just like, bag!
Fucking nerd.
Yeah. Nerds, dude.
So when you said borderline pogues, machine gunners in vehicles...
Borderline pogues.
Borderline pogues?
Yeah. They do different things. Like my buddies, because I was a machine gunner, and my buddies from my SOI class... the majority of them went over to weapons company, and they do different shit. Like they have to bury their Humvee at night. They have to dig their Humvee in. Where I'm not doing that, but in the morning they drive everywhere. But then again, they'll park the Humvee at the bottom of the mountain, and then they'll have to dismount the 50 cal and run up to the top of the mountain, and that's not, again like. That's gnarly and shit. I'm not discrediting you, but I remember one of my boots came up to me like towards the middle of Afghanistan, and he was like, "Hey, I see you like losing weight. Like, how are you getting like this?" I was like, "Dude, I walk like 8 hours a day on patrol." He's like, "Oh," and he was mounted. They had like a little misfits crew, like a quick react crew in case we needed an evac or something, and they could drive there. He's like, oh, I was like, I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but I walk everywhere with a lot of gear and do parkour. where you're jumping over ditches with like 200, 300 pounds of gear.
You try jumping over a little river and you get your feet all wet.
Well, you're trying to avoid it, and then we never had this happen to us, but you're like, oh, I'm trying to avoid getting wet, so you jump, and then there's an IED in the embankment, and you just hasn't happened to any of us, but we had this fat dude named Lambert, and I'll say his name, Lambert. You know who you are. He was a security forces guy. He came over. He didn't pick up corporal, which everybody in security forces picks up. Come over here. Usually the corporals think they're hot shit. They're not. They get busted down from their team leader positions because they suck. Sometimes they're good. But he was a sweeper. He's sweeping for mines and shit at the front of the patrol. He's in Dickerson's team. And he steps on an IED, and it's I forget what we called it. Sometimes they'll call them like speed bump IEDs, where it's like boom, boom, or like this one was like kind of like an ankle breaker IED, and he just like he's like, oh, that was cool, and they're like, we fucking hate you so much. I can't believe that just happened. You should be dead right now. Like not like no one wished for him to be dead, but like Jesus Christ, man,
You just cheated.
Yeah, and he's like, that was crazy. Like You're not. It's not getting into your brain what just fucking happened. So you leave. You leave soon.
I leave in 3 days? Yeah, 3 days.
For when, sir? You going to Lejeune?
Camp Johnson.
Lejeune,
but it's
Jake.
within.
What's up, buddy? Yeah, you'll go to the Sand Fleas. I've never been there. I never want to go there.
It was just cheaper for the Navy to send me there.
Yeah, but... Oh, God, that made me nervous. You must fucking pull all the wires. Yeah, but cheaper, but plenty of people. And it's not, because they're paying for a plane ticket to California anyway.
I'm driving.
Whatever, they're going to pay you. They're going to pay you money to go to California. So, it doesn't fucking matter. They're stupid. Stupid. Excited, nervous, couldn't give a fuck, ready. What?
All the above.
Yeah.
Just ready to be out of this command.
Place is a joke. We're at a hospital. It's a joke.
No military bearing.
No.
Very, very relaxed.
Laziness. Rampant laziness. Complacency.
Yeah, that's the word I was going to say.
First name, officer basis. Officers not knowing their jobs. And I'm not saying we know our jobs perfectly or we're some like gung-ho enlisted. That's not the case at all, but the civilians make more than the officers make way more than us, and then it tends to be a lot of the enlisted doing everything, and then because we're doing a lot of things, we start to know things. Mm-hmm. And I was hanging out with you, and you got a phone call about like, hey, we do this for this type of thing, and you're like, yes, and then hung up. And you're like, was that an officer or just a civilian?
It was an officer.
It was an officer. Yeah, that's cool. So, any hoozle. Yeah, we just got 2 new guys. I'm not gonna fidget and fuck with my clothing. We got 2 new guys. They're both academic drops from FMTB. Did you hear about that?
I did not.
Yeah, so I was kind of grilling them, and I was just grumpy. Not today, but this week was a long week, even though it was like a 2-day week.
Yeah.
Just fucking tiring. And
all your ACFL duties.
Yeah, ACFL duties, not sleeping all the time.
Baby.
Yeah, my wife sleeps less than me, but I wake up at 5 o'clock, 5:30, and then work 12 hours. Anyway, usually I'm pretty cordial with the new guys because of the learning environment, but I was like, where are you coming from? He's kind of goofy, and that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to fuck with you, but...
I think I know which one you're talking about.
His name's Bennett. That's a very common name. I don't give a fuck. Plus, we're going to edit what we need to edit.
Yeah, I seen him in the back office.
Yeah. And he's an academic drop, and his roommate Gonzalez is an academic drop, and it's like, how did that happen? I'm just kind of grilling him, and then I was like, am I taking out like my own frustration because I quit a school on him, or I don't know, but I feel like it's such a passable thing.
It's built to where you can pass straight from core school.
I don't think they really want a dropout rate there.
No, it's
they don't want attrition.
Training. Yes,
yeah.
It's not even considered a C school. It's
like
just
little girls, and I'm not saying like women this fucking tall make it through. Mm-hmm. So, and his I suspect that he just didn't want it. I think he got a taste of like what the Marine Corps is or what he's heading towards. And was like, Maybe he wants to go on a boat. Some people want to go on boats. I don't know. But I was like, why did you, what academically, like, what was your ASVAB? What happened? And he's like, I was focused more on the physical aspect. Again, women this tall. Men this tall make it through.
It's the only thing is like with the Navy, as long as you pass your PRT, you're fine. You do take a Marine Corps PFA and CFT.
Yeah.
It's just for practice.
Yeah, and then everybody... You're probably going to be one of the, and you could, who knows, fall out of a hump, because it's something brand new. We did humps in boot camp, which is a hike with a backpack. We did that in boot camp, and it's new. You're getting your hiking legs underneath you, and that's a real thing.
I think 2, 4, 6, 8 is.
And they build you up to it, but the first one, learning your stride, learning your breath control, not choking yourself out with your gear, which is hilarious. And then people that just naturally have longer legs, like during the Crucible, there was my senior drill instructor's like, better keep up with me. And then he was like 6'2", and he just strided off, and the other 6'2" Marine, like soon to be Marines, strided off with him. And it's a super crazy incline. I'm like, well, they're gone. And it's pretty chaotic. It's kind of cool. And you just walk up at sunrise, the side of the mountain, and easy coast down, and then you go get your Eagle Globe and Anchor, and everybody's at attention, and people lock their legs out and fucking pass out and hit their head. That was hilarious. Escobedo, what's up? And one of the drill instructors just nailed it. Like, yeah, way to go, man. Way to really earn that Eagle Globe and Anchor. Shit's hilarious.
So yeah, accordion effect will take place with the
and that's a natural thing. People get mad, but the thing is to try and stride it out, not run, not like hurry up and skip. Because if everybody starts to stride evenly, you can get it, but it's going to happen no matter what. And if you're in the very back, you're just pretty much running. You're just running.
So be taller.
Just be tall, man. That's the biggest.
6'1".
Yeah, best strategy in life is to like be white, be born into a good family.
Male preferably.
Yeah, be a male. Hopefully your family has money so you can have some of that, and just like
start your own business.
Yeah, and definitely have backers for your own business. Yeah. Definitely keys to being successful. Do your best not to be black. Yeah. Now there's you're going to. People might find this racist, but you're going to the infantry, and there's usually. And I don't see it changing at all. There's 2 types of Marines in the infantry. There's white dudes and Mexicans. And you'll have a sprinkle of black dudes. And it'll be some off dude, or it'll be a guy like, yo, my recruiter fucked me. For real. There was a dude, Paige. And his dad was Motor T, like Master Sergeant or something. And he was a mortarman. And he just one day is like, man, I ain't even supposed to be here. I'm like, what? And he's like, dude, I signed up for Motor T like my dad, dude. They fucked my paperwork up. And that shit happens. One dude in SOI, I never saw him again. His name wasn't Upham, because I think that's from Saving Private Ryan. Upham, the coward
that watched his buddy gets. Yeah.
But we nicknamed him that, or the instructors nicknamed him Upham. And then he like stands up at attention during a class, and he's like, Private Upham. He's like, is that a nickname? He's like, yes, instructor. Nah, nah, nah. And he's like, the coward from Saving Private Ryan. He's like, yes, instructor. Nah, nah, nah. He's like, that's kind of fucked up. He's like, I'm instructor. Nah, nah, nah. And so he was this little bitty dude, and his instructor I'm sure there was some sort of like, hey, we're going to sign you up as a 0331. What do you think about that? And he's like, okay. And the instructor thought it was funny because he was really small. So That's
How he got his nickname?
not how he got his nickname. How he wound up in the infantry. He's like, I didn't know I was signing up for my instructor, my drill instructor.
Recruiter?
My recruiter thought it was. I think I have a tick. My recruiter signed me up for this shit. In the other video, I'll like snap and try and get like words out and shit. It's okay. Dog's going crazy. So again, it's what, 2 months?
Yeah, 9 weeks.
And then you and your wife, who's also corpsman, is showing up at the same time in December.
Her orders are getting stamped the day after my graduation at Field Med.
Mm-hmm.
And then we drive cross country. And
It's
then
gonna be cold.
it's going to be very cool. I think we're going to take like 5 days to leave in between too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because you're like showing up at Christmas.
on Christmas, I'm supposed to check in.
That base is gonna be dead. Yeah.
So I'm going to say a phrase.
Okay.
Nailin' Palin.
Nailin' Palin. Yeah, so that was weird, right? We were talking about Dakota Meyer, and then he shows up on the Joe Rogan Experience. I mean, I am Joe Rogan. I am on it. No, yeah, shit like that happens. I don't think I'm any sort of prophet, but it's just weird that like
We talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that, and then he shows up. He looks completely different than his photo. But then, you know, in the podcast, he said after his like last deployment, which was his fucked up deployment, where a bunch of shit went down and ultimately led in his Medal of Honor award, he got out 8 months later, and then like years later, he got his Medal of Honor. And he just has the worst haircut ever. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you that they're like, hey, we're going to give you the Medal of Honor. We just need you to get like some sort of haircut. And so he probably just like, and that was it. He was also sponsored by Budweiser for a while.
We discussed this.
Fucking awesome. It's like Copenhagen or like Marlboro sponsoring. Have you seen the Marlboro ad? I think it was a Marlboro ad. It was like he's smoking a pack of Reds on a wall, has blood on him. He's just like really dirty Marine, and he's just got like sniper rifles and machine guns stacked up on the wall. And it was, I don't think it was official, but it's like the new Marlboro Man or whatever. I'm fidgeting again.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? So you got all your gear, you packed up today?
Everything's packed up. I just got a couple little small things to toss in there. And that gear list is stupid.
Oh, yeah. They wanted him to have this, like, it's such a waste of time. It's almost hazing. The flashlight they wanted you to get.
Yeah.
Which is this piece of junk, right angle, green, and they call it a torch. And I remember having them in boot camp and I clipped it on my duty belt. My drill instructor was like, hey there, Inspector Gadget. Sweet rig, ready for combat. He's like, take that shit off. You look dumb. But the one you want is a Sidewinder, and you can get like a Sidewinder Mini. What'd you get? Some like hunting?
Black Diamond, I think is what it's called.
Black Diamond used to be official gear. Not official gear, but used to be authorized gear for the military, Marine Corps. They made a rock climbing shit, but I think our contracts have to be U.S. made, and they like outsource to China. So
I know. I bought it. It has red lens.
You're good.
Yeah, red lens, normal, green lens.
Did you like pre-buy anything, like any boots or anything, or are you just waiting on that?
I'm just waiting on that. I'm just gonna take all the gear they issue me and then
burn some of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I got a rucksack already, but they'll take that back after Field Med. So I have one when I check in. It's pretty much the only thing I bought.
Yeah, that's fine. I want to know if the one you got, how much was it?
I
want to know if it's the same brand.
Yeah, because you sent me a link.
Yeah.
To the exact one.
It looked pretty cheap.
Yeah, it was like $110, I think.
It's like a $400 or $500 bag. But so there's a tradition when I was in the Marine Corps, when someone goes UA, which is they abandon their posts and they don't fucking come back.
You take their stuff.
You take their stuff. So I might have been a part of that at one time. And so what I did is I took All right, let me put this out on the table. It was a corpsman that broke in after Afghanistan, went back home to Kentucky, broke into a house with one or two other people, breaking and entering, armed robbery, forced sodomy, sexual assault. He went to jail. I think I think there is like a limitation to what you can do in the brig. I think beyond that would be like Guantanamo. But yeah, so he was. I remember the words of our CEO was, "He's Bird. Bird's going away for a very long time," and we've ripped all his shit out and divided up his gear. He also wasn't a very good corpsman. Again, this guy that dropped, I feel like he didn't want to be there because this dude was dumb as a brick. Divided up his gear, and so I turned in his backpack and kept my backpack from Afghanistan. So if you kind of have a semblance of the same thing, but it's not really the same backpack, but it's super passable, you can just turn that shit in and keep the nice one or whatever.
I mean, there's no thieves in the military. It's just people trying to get their shit back.
That is 1,000% true. 1,000%. Yeah, I was nervous to I wanted like not forceps, but I wanted like pliers and stuff from the ER and all this shit. And like, I remember one day I had an opportunity. I'm still new, and like put it in my pocket, and then the locker room will put it in my backpack. And then like one of our staff NCOs comes up, is like, "Would this fit you?" And like sizes up a knee brace, and she's like, "My husband needs this," and took it home. I was like, and then people build full med bags with stuff, and there's no accountability. That's when I realized, like, oh, shit's free here.
Yeah.
Until, some auditor comes and like, you guys are bleeding medical equipment. Like, yeah.
That's where you get like all the disposable ones.
Disposable what?
You can get disposable tweezers. Yeah. Especially like the kits that we have, everything's disposable.
Yeah.
So take the stuff they don't use. I got so many things.
Do you have a good knife?
I do.
What kind of knife you got?
Got a Gerber.
Gerber. I suggest the Kershaw Blair. Again, if you ever go shopping, just text me before you buy anything, and I'll tell you if it's good or not. I got that and then
a Gerber multi-tool.
Yeah, multi-tools are cool, but I'll tell you this: you don't want to be known as the guy that has everything, because then everybody's gonna come up to you like, "Oh, can I borrow this?" And then your shit'll come back broken or won't come back at all. Or
I also bought like 7 boxes, like big boxes, about like half this size, of hand warmers and feet warmers.
They'll probably take those away from you.
No. I've already done research.
Okay.
I put them in all my cargo pockets.
Why?
Because I get cold.
They give you warming layers.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough. You and I both know this.
They did a bag dump in the field when I was in SOI. They took all hand warmers. If you had oversized bags of candy, because you can have candy, but like if you had like huge
the single serve ones.
Yeah, like family size and things like that. They're like, this is too much. They're like, guys, seriously, like if you want to bring a couple packs of M&Ms, like a bag of M&Ms a day, that we're gonna let that pass. But like this, you don't need to be eating this shit. Took it. Took everybody's hand warmers. They took our like dissolvable flavor tabs because we would put those in our Camelback, and then the Camelback would get like mold in it, and then you're just like swigging on mold, and people get super sick.
I bought 2 bladders as well.
Yeah, I have because the Camelbacks they would give us weren't like official Camelback. So I went and bought a real Camelback, and I took the label off because that's something they're kind of, and I think I like take the label off of everything nowadays. If this would say something, I would like take that shit, unstitch it. They don't want you, just like the Nike socks for PT, they don't want Nike checks on your shit because we're not affiliated with Nike as the military. It's New Balance. No, I'm kidding.
Naval Academy is sponsored by Under Armour, so we should.
Is it really?
It is. Little fun fact for everyone out there. Do your research. Yeah. What was I saying? This is one of those parts where you interrupt me. Fuck you. What's the going rate for Skittles and M&Ms in the field? What's the
Depends
good
on
trade?
what people like, man. My brother, when he was on Iraq, used to trade for calories because they outran their supply truck. Dude, his situation was fucked. It was old school Marine Corps, where Marine Corps is just notorious for being poor, and the Army is just big fat cats, and the Navy's just fat. But my brother had to spread load sappy plates. So like some new dude showed up, some I forgot what they called it. Remain behind element, RBE. So you'll leave like a certain group of people behind, and then like people get injured, and then those replacements show up. Well, these dudes they were like boots from SOI show up, didn't have sappy plates in their vest, and so my brother, everyone had to take their back sappy plate and give it to these new guys as their front sappy. So everybody had a front sappy. They were running out of MREs because they were like way ahead of their truck. Again, pogues, they suck. They don't want to be in war. They're all nervous and shit. So my brother, he's like, Skittles have 120 calories, and fucking jalapeno fucking cheese spread has this many calories. I don't give a fuck. So he was just trying to get his calories in. I love Skittles, man. I love Skittles. Dude, Skittles I was a Skittle fiend. And then on deployment, people just send, like, organizations will send you stuff. We had so-called 1%ers from Wall Street send us weights, like nice weights. Mm-hmm. I think our XO kept them or left them there. But we just had, like, that thing full, except it was clear. We had, like, 3, 4 in our platoon area, and then other platoons just had things full of, like, I don't really like Girl Scout cookies till this day because they're just full of Girl Scout cookies and ramen and no. And then it's like Halloween candy where it gets just like shittier as it goes on. Like the candy,
melts into the label.
Yeah, the gross stuff that no one wants to throw away but eat at the same time. But you'll make some good recipes and stuff. But you'll have a supply truck out every once in a while. That was the first time I ever bought some bows. I was like, I'm in Afghanistan, I might die. Here's $240 for a pair of bows, and they're pretty nice. They broke eventually, but they're nice. And you just buy like creature comforts. Like I got chicken and a biscuit. That was pretty good. Those crackers, fucking good, dude. Stuff you kind of like really appreciate. Like imagine just going through a grocery store, like not seeing civilization for a long time. That's basically what it is, except it's the back of a 18-wheeler.
Nice.
But if you have some chunker, dude, and he loves whatever, bring that out, make some money off his ass. In prison, it's called extortion.
Know a lot about prison in terms.
I do know a lot about prison. But then someone like you is going to be feeding for some dip. And then you might have someone that brings out just logs and logs of dip. And he's like me, I didn't fucking dip. So if I brought out logs of dip and you're not my buddy, I'm making a pretty penny off that shit.
It's like 3 bags of Skittles for 1 can.
Who knows?
Something absurd like that.
But you're gonna find friends out there, man. You're gonna have people that you're cool with and you're fine sharing with.
Prison rules,
yeah. You're going to show up. You're going to see a bunch of nerds. Some nerds are going to piss you off. But, like, dude, by the end of core school, I was pretty much cool with everybody. Especially one dude that really pissed me off in the beginning. But he's cool. We text still. But
you work with him sometimes?
No. He's in like Fort Lauderdale or probably not. He's somewhere. But he was undesignated. And he was on a boat, and he'd be like, "Oh, you're a Marine, huh? I used to be on boats with Marines. Oh, you guys, no." I'm like, "Yeah, man, you pretty much know me." And then he talked to my buddies, people that I befriended in school, and he's like, "Man, Blake, I just really just wanted to be his friend and just relate to him." They're like, "Yeah, that's what pissed him off. Just don't try and relate to the guy. You don't know him, so don't assume that because he's a Marine, you know everything about him." So
I knew everything about him, though.
Me or him?
You.
Exactly. Yeah.
Practically brothers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got mistaken for brothers by was that some old elderly lady, right?
It was some elderly lady.
I hate old people so much.
Nothing alike.
Oh, were you there for that guy that was just a bag of death yesterday? Just smelly bad.
Probably not.
Oh my god. Came in unresponsive and oh dude, he just smelled so bad. We got him up to ICU. And then Dr. French was there, and people are like, he is going to kill that guy. He is going to just do everything wrong, and that guy's going to die. He was do not resuscitate, so I don't know. I don't know what that means. I got it tattooed on my chest, though. I think it's pretty cool.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, solid idea. Something I was thinking of, Marines like to smell nice. And the reason I say that is because say you're from the field and then you want to like sneak into the PX real quick. You want to like roll your sleeves and walk in the field. If you throw on some like, not Axe, but like something that doesn't smell fucking like you're a high schooler, you know, and walk in, you're going to get less turns and looked at than if you smell like you've been in the field for 2 weeks, you know?
Okay.
Or you're not going to be in the barracks at all, but you'll probably do a health and comfort with like a staff sergeant one day as a corpsman walking through for sanitary reasons, and it's just going to smell like a high schooler's gym bag. Like, what the fuck? And the reason they're doing all those inspections is because they're little high schoolers. They're not professionals yet. They don't know what, you know, sanitary things are, but they're not corpsmen or anything, no medical basis, and so they're just walking on pissed on floors,
Domino pizza boxes.
They haven't done their laundry and it's moldy, and
shaker cups with protein in it for like 3 days.
Dude. So yeah, and dude, we had a guy in core school that just reeked, and he didn't shower, and his roommate was complaining, and the NMTIs had to go in and like force him to shower, force him to clean. He had bad skin. Like, it's a cold world, man. It's a big world, and they got some people that don't understand. I guess some people don't like water. I don't understand.
Core school is like the one place where you could shower and not get yelled at however long you took a shower.
Yeah. Why?
I mean, I didn't have a roommate my whole core school. So.
Oh, dude, I didn't have a roommate for half.
So I could just shower for an hour and a half because the water stayed hot.
Yeah. Well, it's boiling outside all the time. Oh, yeah, that guy was transgender, so we beat the shit out of him until he's dead and stuffed him in a trash can.
So this hour and a half showers, perfect.
Yeah. Again, my roommate was transgender, so I just locked him in a closet every time I got there.
Kind of like...
They're not real humans. That's what I'm saying.
Kind of like the Marine drill instructor who put the recruit in the dryer and turned it on.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So, when I was in boot camp, there's this little short, little Floyd Mayweather looking drill instructor, I swear to God. And he got busted down from staff sergeant, probably E1, because if you're going down from staff sergeant, that's not a good look. And, dude, he used to make recruits drink, he wasn't my drill instructor, but he used to make recruits drink toilet water. He used to step on kids' hands during, like, push-ups. He locked, there's something called a whiskey locker where it's, like, where all the equipment's, like, not sensitive equipment, but not shit we're supposed to get to. And he would just, like, lock kids in there, and then the senior drill instructor would be like, what the fuck, man? And unlock him. I'm pretty sure he went to court-martial and he got busted down.
Nice.
That shit was tight. Yeah, dude. So the reason I know that to be legit is because one of our squad leaders in boot camp was his name was Carr. This real stocky dude, wrestler. And he was put in front so he could like get out of his rack and like, you know, yell, attention on deck, this is senior drill instructor on deck, no. I don't know if y'all did that in your boot camp. But the dude woke him up at night, everyone's sleeping, he pins his arms down in the bed and he's just like, what would you do if you're in a fight? And starts hitting him. He's like, what the fuck? And there was like some other drill instructors and they just like start fucking with him. They're like, heard you soft, boy, heard you soft, huh? I'm like, what? And he was like, dude, it was the weirdest thing. I didn't know if it really happened. Yeah. So.
I think the closest thing we had to that at boot camp was you call them your squad leader? Or
yeah.
You have guides. Guide's your top guy, right?
Guide's the top guy. He's in charge of the 4 squad leaders.
So we had our RPOC, like recruit, whatever.
You'll have a million different titles.
Anyway, this dude, all asleep, just got off from Firewatch, shoots straight up and starts yelling out commands, and then lays back down and goes to sleep like nothing happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's pretty normal, but we also have one kid. You have the double racks, right? So,
Bunks.
Top guy threw his recruit book at the OOD because he was walking through doing inspections. It was middle of the night. He was
a real officer?
Yeah, he was the OOD, just like making rounds.
Hilarious.
And like he had his book. Say this was his book. He was asleep in his rack. Then he throws it at the OOD as they're walking in, and he started yelling something. And the OOD's like, "This is fucking hell. Get me out of here!" And just
left.
Just left. Didn't do a whole.
That's fortunate for that person. Did I tell you last time about the we have a scribe. Did y'all have a scribe?
We had yeomans.
Yeah, so we had a scribe, and you have to have good handwriting. You can't like shit your pants when a drill instructor talks to you. And our senior drill instructor really liked this dude, and as far as I knew, I think he went to infantry, but he's like a reservist, and he went anyway. Wound up like on Facebook or something, messaging him. I was like, "Hey, whatever fucking happened to you? How come I don't see you around? Like, what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, I got in a really bad car accident and this and that." And then they forced me to go reserves. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then an OOD, officer of the day, officer duty of the day, whatever it stands for, comes by. An officer in the military,
on duty.
which is like on duty. You're under an oath, and then an officer. It's like. The Marine Corps thing is I will not Marine Corps, but when I was joining the Navy, one of our creeds was like, I will not lie, cheat, or steal or associate with those that do. I know that's a huge thing in the, like, if you do one thing, if you ever have real discipline for doing something wrong, DUI, anything like that, you're pretty much done as an officer. So this OOD comes through and is like looking through the squad bay, and then an hour later, someone's like, "Hey, my wallet's missing." And so this dude saw this officer walk through. He's like, "1 and 1, put it together." So I accused an officer of theft. So I think he went to Mass or NJP. I don't know if anything like really happened with that, but I'm pretty sure he got blackballed. So they're just like, "All right, dude, you're done. You're staying at this rank you're at, and then we're processing you out." And he's like, "So that was my Marine Corps career." I'm like, "All right, man, fucking hell." So have you ever taken Alpha Brain?
And I'm Joe Rogan.
And I'm Joe Rogan. No, but for real, have you ever taken Alpha Brain?
No.
I didn't find any benefit from it. You take pre-workout?
I make my own.
Stop.
I make my own.
Oh, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You make your own? Like
I eat watermelon for the citrulline.
Chop it up and snort it?
I eat watermelon, take creatine, and some coffee.
Were you there when
Sue asked us? That's exactly what I told him.
Was it Sue or I thought it was Asvab 53. It's a pretty good code name. Asvab 53, I thought he asked me crazy shit all the time.
No, that was Sue.
Asvab 53 today is like, "I'm going to go weigh in." I was like, "No, you're not." And he's like, "Yeah, it's weigh-ins today." I was like, "That's early bird. That was yesterday, dude. You missed that shit." And then he like asked me again. I'm like, "You perplex me."
Oh, I know. Now I thought
you
were
know who
talking about
Asvab 53 is.
I thought it was the one on the night shift. This is the day shift.
It's a skinhead. No, not this guy. Same name. No, I like him, which is, if you know what animal this is, then you'll know the name I'm talking about.
Apparently he's going to 29 Palms.
Yeah, apparently.
He says he's got orders to...
They're gonna stuff him somewhere, or he's gonna just be...
It literally says, like, he told me it said 29 Palms, first MEF.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so you're gonna get put wherever
Yeah,
they need you.
again, I did 4 years, and I fucking on the last podcast, I didn't know acronyms and shit. I'm no professional, but again, it's quite complex. I don't.
Yeah.
And then it also is shifting. I think I met a guy you were asking me about. He's a corpsman. I think he's a HM3. Very typical, like, white dude, blonde hair, slicks it back. His name might be Tinkle. Anyway, he was from 1-7 as a corpsman. And I was like, how did that work? Did you go to, like, division and they filtered you down? Or no? He's like, no, some Master Chief told me I was going to 1-7 because needs of the Navy / Marine Corps. I was like, oh, so it's not. He's like, it could be, but I don't know. I'm like, I don't fucking know either, man.
How I was explaining, was like, my orders say 1st Marine Division, 7th Regiment. So I'm going to the 7th Regiment for sure. But there's other that says just 1st Marine Division. Mm-hmm. And they would go, to, I guess, 1st Marine Division, and then get billed out from there wherever they need be.
My instructors in Corps School made it seem like getting to a line unit was very hard.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really hard, but
it is.
With everyone cycling out, ETSing, PTSing, there's no wars going on, so no one wants to go to line units.
There is.
I know.
There is. I remember thinking that, and then I went to war.
War hero.
Yeah, I have 2 ribbons less than my HM1.
You've been, what, 4 years Marine Corps?
4 years Marine Corps. I'm coming up on 6 years in the military.
He's been in for over 12.
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
He can't deploy.
Yeah, we went over this last time. He's not a terrible person.
Did
Did
I tell you about the...
Jake, stop itching.
Did I tell you about the TCCC stuff?
Mm-mm.
Apparently he can't take TCCC because he's physically exempt.
Oh, well, dude. This is the... Oh, God.
Jake, what are you doing, bud?
This is the acronym I fucked up last time. As an ACFL. With Assistant Command Fitness Leader.
There you go.
Nailed it! As an ACFL, dude, people have the just lamest excuses. And they... Like, one dude that... He's not a chaplain's mate or he's not an RP.
But he's the one that works.
But he's the one that works
I know
there.
who you're talking about.
He shows up for weigh-ins to schedule his PFA, which is your physical fitness assessment. I'm nailing acronyms today. And he's exempt from everything. He's exempt from weigh-in. He just shows his face. Chief writes his name down and he leaves. And then there's people like, my legs hurt today. No. I can't do this workout. I'm like, so what I'm trying to get done is having cards with people's name on it. Be like, oh, what's your name? Felicia? Felicia, it says you're fit for full.
Yeah.
So do the fucking workout. Because it's very touchy-feely. I don't feel like doing a fucking... old boy of the ER that's now not. He's upstairs, Mr. Mr. Round Man. And he does put out for most workouts. But one day I was just like, you're not really doing... He was doing wall thrusters with a ball.
Wall balls?
Yeah, wall balls. And I was like, the point is to get down on a full squat and really explode into it. He's like, well, my knees hurt today, so yeah. I'm like...
My solid week I was in that.
Yeah, how'd that go again?
They
taped you wrong?
Yeah.
They taped you wrong.
Absolutely killed.
No one was going to admit any wrongdoing, so you tested out in a week. You lost all that weight in a week and tested out.
Yeah, I apparently lost like 17 pounds in a week and 6 inches off my waist or so. Yeah. I just starved myself, didn't drink water.
It's the way to go.
Yeah, I was like a plant. I got my nutrients from the sun. Mm-hmm. It's like vegan times 2.
Right. So I read something on the internet. I saw a cartoon photo of it, and it's a girl. She's like this, and she's naked, and it's like just 5 seconds of exposure to your butthole in the sun charges the whole body. I was just like, There's almost no way to prove that. Where can you go and just expose your asshole to the sun?
Very true.
Very true. So anyway, we'll get down to some Mythbusters shit on that pretty soon.
I'm trying to think what else we could discuss.
What else? What else? What else? What else? You got a GoPro. That's cool.
Yeah, I bought a GoPro so I can do my...
Hold on, I got a text. Wait.
I got a GoPro to film my adventures at Field Med and with the 7th
They're
Regiment.
probably not going to allow that.
Prison rules.
They're not going to allow.
Prison rules.
You can keep it in your pocket, but that's why I like the Sidewinder. It looks like a flashlight.
Sidewinder sponsor us.
You know what I want to do?
Let me try out your
We'll
gear.
be like, oh, no, we're going to take a quick commercial break to pay some bills. And then we like take our cell phones out and literally pay like an electric bill. We're looking for sponsors, so. Or just be like, this podcast is brought to you by Heavy Weights. So if you lift heavy weights, you owe us money. So please just send us money, and we'll have that. Heavy weights, lift them. They're good for you. Thank you. IKEA.
And I'm Joe Rogan.
And I'm also want just like someone back there to maybe be in control of shit and just call him Jamie. And then never be polite to him. Never do like thank you or because he never does that. He's just like, hey, go get ice for the whiskey. Grab the good whiskey too. And it's just like please and thank you. And he never says it. So
What about do like El Presidente, the one bite?
huh?
You ever watch pizza reviews with the Barstool Sports?
I thought you were talking about the guy from Adam Sandler movies, Dante. I think he's El Presidente or something on some social media. He sings a lot. It's very awkward.
Yeah, well, the guy that made Barstool Sports, Saturdays Are for the Boys, he does pizza reviews.
Okay.
He's got a camera guy, just like Joe Rogan, rude to him.
Is it a get? Is it like a?
He goes
Is it like a joke of the?
I don't know. He like actually goes to different pizza places and does actual pizza.
No, but like,
reviews.
is it a bit? Is him being rude to the guy?
No, I think he's actually just rude to him.
Okay. I don't
He
like
gets
that.
big ass pizza, eats one slice, and gives it to someone else instead of the camera guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't even give the camera guy one slice.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Maybe the camera guy doesn't deserve it.
True. This is brought to you by Barstool Sports.
Sure, dude. They would. Yeah. This is brought to you
Saturdays
by
Are for the Boys.
Apple iPhones, which if you take too big of a video, it's very difficult to get off your phone onto the interwebs.
This is also sponsored by GoPro, where I could just clip and paste.
This is sponsored by Shure. They make stuff.
And also sponsored by the state of Oklahoma.
Yes. Sponsored by Antique Sewing Machines. Very solid equipment. So on the other video, I'll be like doing shit like this or like cracking and it picks up everything perfectly.
Nice.
Welcome to Unprofessional Podcast. Oh, we're on?
Test, 1, 2.
What's that? What's the SMR or whatever the
ASMR?
ASMR?
I don't know what it stands for, but
I thought it's sensory.
they're just super close and you can...
Yeah, no, it's gonna pick that up really well.
Nice.
Nice. You watch South Park?
I do.
Oh, have you watched the new ones?
I have not.
They're pretty good.
I haven't watched Always Sunny either, if you ask me.
It's pretty good. The first 2 episodes were like, oh, come on. But yesterday's, or 2 nights ago, was good.
You know what I heard is really good? The new Joker movie.
I heard that was really good by the new black guy in our department. And I was like, hey, black man. And he's like, what? I was like, you really liked it? And then, okay, here's the whole thing with it all. Is the new guy, I'll just fucking call him the new guy, Rampage. Rampage Jackson is like, that movie's tight. I was like, really? I didn't think it'd be good. And then someone right next to it is like, oh, no, it's not good. I was like, have you seen it? No. I was like, well, this fucking person has, and you haven't. How are you going to say that it's not good?
Like, every person that's seen it has said it was good.
Yeah.
Really dark. And
Yeah.
borderline pushes the envelope on a lot of violence. And
You think he'll kill himself like that other guy did?
like Heath Ledger did?
Yeah.
I
think it's the only way to like keep your
like Joaquin Phoenix was already crazy to begin with.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix is already crazy.
He's got like this cleft lip scar type deal, and then he's got this weird shoulder thing. Exactly. He doesn't need to act much. He's just there. There's certain actors that do that, like Sean Connery. He's just Sean Connery. Go. I'm Sean Connery. Like you're not. Just don't say your name, and you're fine. Like I'm James Bond. There's certain people that are just they act by being themselves, and they're like bravo.
I feel as if Keanu Reeves is also like that.
Oh, dude, but he's
a great actor.
He's kind of coming back to life. He did Matrix. He did some gay-ass love movies in the middle. And then I didn't think those John Wicks were good. And then one of my buddies was like, you haven't seen John Wick? I was like, no, it's just lame. He's like, no, it's so good. And it was.
Yeah, my wife. John Wick, is that the one where he kills the dog?
Yeah, Keanu Reeves kills the dog in that one. No, he kills a bunch of cars, which is R.I.P., Rest in pizza. Yeah.
So, as an infantry marine, when you see someone with a pizza box in their dress uniform, what's your instant thought?
What do you mean they have a pizza box in their dress uniform?
Like...
well...
Is that the right... Yeah.
Pizza box. That means they're the lowest qual. There's 3 quals. Expert, sharpshooter, and...
That was marksman.
Marksman... No.
That was marksman, sharpshooter, expert.
Again, I don't know. Maybe I'm a fucking idiot.
Pretty sure that's what it is.
I don't know. Anyway, I missed expert by 1 point.
But you got expert in the Navy.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah.
But I also became a better shot.
Yeah.
I went to combat and fucking not too nervous about shooting a target anymore after that. And then also just like general, like I own my own guns now. I own the M9 that the Navy uses, or I have multiple pistols as you've seen. So I just understand weapons better. Understand it all. I think you learn something and then it settles in and you actually learn it. I think you study something and then you learn it later on. You're like, oh, no, I actually know this. You cram all that shit in core school and then you go to L&D, labor delivery, and then you start actually learning shit. It's in the past, bro. It's in the past.
It's 2 years there, man.
Yeah, fuck. I'm burnt out on the ER already. And
2 years with newborns, and I'm going to have 3 years with Neanderthals.
Yeah, you're good. Dude, it'd be interesting. I think you're going to be perfectly fine.
It's the mustache.
Yeah.
So
again, I would go with squared away because people just won't fuck with you.
So I had my out briefing with Master Chief.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking. He's like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "Oh, I'm going 7th Regiment." He's like, "Where's that at exactly?" I was like, 29 Palms. He's like, I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, you seem pretty motivated." Because we talked about how relaxed our military bearing is at the command. He's like, "Yeah, really just grind your gears." You did a Family Guy reference, which I really...
Is that Family Guy?
It is.
What's a woe?
A woe?
Yeah. No, that's my impression of Foxworth, and also I'm just old and I don't do tween stuff.
But yeah, and he said, and I quote, you should probably get a haircut before you get there.
Yeah, you should.
It's like, Master Chief, my hair is in regulations.
Not for where you're going.
Yeah, it is. 4 inches.
No, you need a fade, bro.
Bald? Just shave it.
I said fade. I didn't say bald. There's actually regulation against shaving your head. Like ASVAB 53, you're not really supposed to do that unless you're going bald. Because it's a risk of you getting a sunburn / lung cancer / not operative.
Also, that is can be construed as like hate crime. Like he was joining.
Because Nazis?
Yeah, essentially. Because we had one kid in my boot camp division.
No. Hold on.
Yeah.
No. Shaving your head.
They want to kind of piece that with skinheads.
I don't give a fuck. Skinheads is a statement. It just so happens that people that are skinheads do sometimes associate with fucking not cool shit, which is Nazis and fucking straight edges. Straight edges are pretty much worse than Nazis. No tobacco, no alcohol.
Isn't that what you were doing for a little bit?
I just don't do it. I don't preach to people that they can't do it and beat up old women.
True. Follow-up question. Is it true when you go on deployment that you shave your boots' heads before deployment?
Yes, your first deployment. First combat deployment.
Okay. They shave your head?
Yeah, you're supposed to, but...
Since that can be construed as hazing?
Yeah, so when I was a boot, you're supposed, in the Marine Corps, though, you're going to learn this, though the writing says this, though technically you're supposed to get a haircut every 2 weeks, which is every pay period, you get a haircut every weekend. Every weekend. And so if you miss that haircut, the tradition, the rule was you shave your head. You start over. You screwed up. And so old Bugney, which he is who he is. He's Bugney. He actually deployed. I'll give him that. Bugney forgot to get a haircut. We were peers, but I was his team leader at the time. I said, shave your fucking head. And he damn near cried, shaved his head, and then my sergeant at the time, because we were like rotating sergeants pretty heavily, came up and was like, hey man, what you did yesterday, technically that's hazing. He could have your ass for that. I don't think he will, but you can't do that shit anymore. I was like, fucking, I swear to God, this shit. And like every generation's the same. Like my brother's hazing was way worse than my hazing. He was generations away from my brother. He joined in 2000. I joined in 2009. So the military just as a whole changed. They went into war and then they, we're moving towards not war anymore. But that's still going on today. The shit that certain commands do and the shit that certain commands, banned is fucking bull. And some of it's reasonable, but I think that's a good lesson to learn. If we have a rule, you fuck up that rule, you have to do something somewhat extreme. I'm not hitting you with things. I'm not, sometimes I could see that. I don't think brain damage is good, but if you got to scrap a little bit, I think that's a valuable way to learn. But what they're worried about is like singling people out. Say I really do have a problem with a black person and, I make him shave his razor bumps off or something, something fucked up like that. That's not cool.
Well, we can't have beards anymore in the Navy.
White people can't.
No, they passed it. No sailors can have beards.
Dude, yes they can, dude.
They literally just pushed this article out last week.
I don't know what they're gonna do about that because people get razor bumps and it's like a real thing.
Yeah, they have like a 4-week trial, and then once the razor burn heals up, they got to shave again. So it's gonna be like.
Well, my thing with it, I really don't have a problem with it, but I've seen some real bad razor bumps, and the dude, he was an SOI. He was one of the rare black guys going through. I'm really not racist, but I do, facts are facts. He was like one black dude in my SOI school. He forgot to get a haircut, so he shaved his whole head. And then I remember seeing him. I was a machine gunner, and he was 0311. And then I remember seeing him in the field, and he had just this most clinical razor bumps. Head, beard, neck, and it was nauseating. And I was just like, oh, yeah, I don't get that. That makes sense. Like old Dwayne. He's like, oh, I don't want to get that because I feel like people are like, you have a weird thing going on down here.
Yeah.
Go get that. My problem is when I see the dude that lines it up, fades it, and you're like, you can handle it.
Yeah.
You can get...
I don't know. The way I see it is I can go either way with it. So, I mean, with beards, it's hard to get a good seal with your gas mask or your firefighting mask.
All the times
All the times.
All the times, my career that I've put that. And I know we're supposed to prepare for that one time it does go down, but...
Well, I mean, like, You've been on a ship, but not like as a naval personnel
No,
on a
that
ship.
seems like hell.
Yeah, because I mean they do like the battle station drills where you got to put full gear.
We do
on.
that. We do the Marine Corps. We go get gas qualified once a year. Fucking.
Well, this is firefighting.
CS gas.
This
Gas.
is firefighting.
Real men take their gas off and then walk out the room.
They take their gas off.
Their mask off.
Their mask off. Yeah. Then they
Their
walk
gas mask off. So you're in a room. Put the mask on. Instructor pops a bunch of CS gas. Take off your gas mask. Clear it. And then the drill pretty much over. And then once it's over, real men take their mask off, full of smoke in the air, and walk out.
Did you do it?
Yeah, of course. I was a boot. I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be tough. But you get immune. You get immune to CS gas. We did CS gas, and then we had like a ruck run.
Oh.
It kind of opens you up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I also snorted Tabasco and then went on ruck run. It was very high for that.
Speaking of Tabasco,
Yeah, little bitties.
you remember? They don't know this. The other day, whenever I was in the ER with you, and
Oh, that was hilarious.
Robert had
Yes.
taped a Texas Pete packet inside my wife's straw.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know. Took a big gulp,
Yeah.
and she spit red out, and I thought it was blood for a second.
Yeah. So she has a Yeti, and she's environmentally conscious or
Not
not,
really.
right? So she has a metal straw. He takes good timing on him, and like everyone played it off that saw it, and I completely forgot this happened. He cuts a triangle off the Texas Pete ketchup packet, so to speak, puts it in, medical tapes it up, then puts it in her
Ingenuity.
iced Yeti, and then she's not feeling good. Has a Tylenol, takes a Tylenol in the break room, drinks, and just spits blood out, and it's hot sauce. And me and you are like,
Yeah, but she did get it back.
what'd she do?
Salt shaker in his Gatorade.
Uh-oh.
Poured like the whole shot salt shaker in there.
Gonzo was very slowly putting normal saline in VD's like freeze pop. He had a lemonade, and he wasn't noticing. He just kept eating it. I'm like, well, fuck. And we're like, what? And you're like, we've been putting normal saline in that. Obviously, it's not affecting the flavor. He's like, it's fine. Yeah, I don't.
Them fucking Canadians, man.
Is he really Canadian?
No, he's like
Oh, we're not friends anymore.
really rather southern New York.
Southern New York.
Yeah.
Northern New York.
No, like I thought he was northern New York. He's like way down here, like nowhere near the border.
That's one of those interesting. It's like New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles are so blue, but yet the rest of the states, California, the rest of the states pretty much red, and then New York is the only place there, besides maybe like the Hamptons or something where all the rich people are. Swing states, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh no, I'm just a flyover state.
Where are you from?
Oklahoma.
Oh.
Brought to you by the state of Oklahoma.
So, a bunch of Marines I know all went to the same high school and wrestled together. It was like Neff. I think Bradley might be with them. Clester might have known him. No, it was Blanks. Anyway, they all were home on leave, just like together. And I don't know if they did the buddy systems where they all joined together, but anyway, they called up a tattoo shop and they're like, how much would it cost to get the state of Iowa tattooed on 6 guys' ass with the star of the Capitol? I was like, fuck, man, I don't know, like $100 per. They're like, okay. And like they walked in and it's like he wasn't stoked to just tattoo a bunch of guys' asses, but he got his money out of it. It was like meh, super quick, but it's like, nice. You got a text, huh?
No, I got an email
Sweet.
from my mother-in-law.
Oh, so nice.
Shout out to Sarah Kist.
Dope. Hey, did you happen to catch that clock at the beginning?
I did not.
1 second. How long are we going? I've been running 6 miles a day because we didn't know. Low battery. We've been going for an hour. Probably good.
Yeah, you got to come over here and sign out. Don't stop it.
Yeah, I'm not. All right, so this is our second podcast.
And I'm Blake.
And I'm David. That was great when we did that. Who had our phone numbers switched in their phone because of that? We were in a group chat.
Ronald.
Like, who are all these people? And he's like, I'm Blake, I'm Blake Cretin. And then I'm like, oh, I'm David Boyd. And he had our fucking shit next. That was good. When I was on the Appalachian Trail with one of my buddies in the teams, people were like, oh, who are you guys? And you give yourself nicknames. I don't know. It's kind of lame. We bailed on it, but like, I'm Dude. Like, I'm Duder. Like, oh, Dude and Duder. Like, no, I'm Dude. I'm Duder. And we got it perfect one time where we were like, I thought you were Dude and you were Dude. Like, no, I'm Dude and you're Duder. Anyway.
Why don't you go
I live an interesting life.
You just went like Mike Hunt or
Mike Hunt?
Ben Dover or something classic like that. You had to go
Von Moger, that
bodybuilder.
That bodybuilder has
Colin. Yeah, it's Colin
the
Australian guy.
The Australian Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like the same person.
With a mullet.
He has, that thing's nice. Jake Slavichin.
Beautiful mullet. He has a nice motorcycle.
I'm sure. He has a company or like a t-shirt logo that's like something cunt. Like Spike Cunt or something.
Yeah, it's like...
In Australia, that's not an offensive thing to say cunt.
Yeah, here it is.
Here it is. People, whatever. No comment, no comment, no comment. Transgender, no comment.
Women in the infantry.
Well, didn't we talk about this last time?
We were saving that for episode 3.
I mean, I've heard of them. If you're CrossFit chick and you can keep up, but
I think episode 3 should take place.
I think they should be separate. We talked about this.
Yeah. This is for episode 3 that we're going to go more in depth.
Okay.
Episode 3 is when I'm going to be with the 7th Regiment for a couple months. So.
Yeah, you're going to have a 1,000-yard stare.
Like they just do stupid shit, man.
We do. We get bored, man. We're in the desert.
They just throw rocks at rocks.
I have that was funny, dude. Because the thing is you'll be done. You'll be done, dude. You're done with like a month of training. You're back. And then you're just sitting around for 6 hours until 11 o'clock at night. And like us, we'll be sitting there and like, dude, my house is right there. My wife and child, a home-cooked meal. She thinks I was supposed to be home 5 hours ago. What is taking so long? And so one of the Marines, that was his circumstance, he was just like picking up rocks and just fucking chucking them like, ah! I'm like, chill out, man. He's just like, fuck, dude, this is bullshit. And we're just like, we have beer in our fridge. It's gonna be cool when we leave. One time we got the okay, like, all right, we're done. It was after the 30-day field up. Like, all right, we're done. And so everybody's drinking, and it was a false alarm. Like one team leader, like some reason was just like, oh no, you guys are cool. And they're like, oh, well, my team leader said we're cool, so we all must be cool. And dude, there was like sloppy drunk people. We got called back to a formation, and what had happened is someone took 16 GPSs, put them in a trash bag, forgot they were in a trash bag, and then threw it in a dumpster.
Nice.
And that came out of officers and higher enlisted pay.
So
you deserved it for that stupid ass move.
Oh, for your boat crew stuff?
Boat crew, what?
Was that the stupid move? That officer that you guys were supposed to be like a boat crew, but then he did stuff and you didn't get the boat crew.
Oh, my CO that
shot the flare off.
Shot the flare off at the beginning of a training exercise and just totally failed that training exercise. Then in the Philippines, traded his rifle for a bottle of whiskey and got relieved. True story. I forgot his name. Nothing worthy of mentioning, honestly. Women in the infantry, separate them. Be your own infantry. Dudes do this over here, you do that over there. We're cool. Yeah. Good luck. I wish I had a gift for you, but I don't. So
you're the only gift I need.
I'll give you the gift of a firm handshake. Good luck, man. Have fun at Murphy's. I'm not going because I have a wee baby child.
You gonna watch the game tomorrow?
Don't get in trouble. Probably. Yeah,
All right.
I don't see why not.
Because I mean, OU is
It's not.
undefeated
It's
right
not
now.
important to me, but
It's important to me.
Mm.
It's one of the biggest rivalries in college sports history.
Out of all the workplace proximity associates, you're one of them. So I think you should know.
I think I should be one of the top ones.
Yeah, you're just one of them.
Who's above me?
I don't really rank people. You're all the same.
As long as I'm above Asbat 53 and Skinhead. Or Dum Dum.
This guy. This guy's he's like a puppy, dude. He can be trained.
Yeah,
Where
that's what.
ASVAB 53 is there's something wrong. Something's not computing in the brain box.
He's going to. Oh,
Yeah.
young Neil's coming to Field Med with me.
Is he?
Yeah, same day.
I know someone that's going to. Did you hear about young Neil? What he did? He emailed all the brass that he put C collars in the recess room.
Did not hear about that.
And everyone's like, "Why did you do that?" I was told to. I was like, "You're never supposed to email officers."
Was it like the
He
like big
all
big colonel?
brass? Yes.
And
Colonel
else?
B
and
just in Commander W and Lieutenant Commander J. And
I've emailed with her, but it was like off topic stuff. Yeah. It was about a letter of
I was
recommendation.
like, dude, you're an E1.
Is he an E1?
Yeah. Like, you're an E1.
He doesn't even get collar devices while we're down there.
It's good. There's that one dude in our ER. He wears his black collar device on it. I was like, why are you wearing that? He's like, oh, I went to Field Med. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, there's
You're
only...
not supposed to wear that. And then today during our blues inspection, I was like, oh, where's your black one? He's like, I can't wear that in this uniform. I was like, oh, you can't? Oh.
I think which... Opposite team, right?
He looks like Sue.
Really, really skinny, like super tiny.
Yeah.
Looks like he has female scrubs on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know his name.
I don't know it either. Apparently, he's a good corpsman, though. He's just...
Just boot shit like that.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm going to do it. And he'd be like, you didn't earn that. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Just wear your EGA around.
I'm like, I'm going to wear my corporal chevron too. And my EGA. And I'm going to go get gold ones like the cooks have. Isn't that cool?
Dude. Wish you were still a Lance Corporal.
What do you mean? Wish I was like?
I wish you were
be showing up to me over there.
No, like so you could wear like the gold Lance Corporal.
I can go get gold corporal wings.
Yeah, but
Sure.
Lance Corporal is a lot.
Yeah.
So you can go Lance Corporal Crouton.
Corporal. It is a French thing. Lance corporals, or maybe it's English. They're the only people that I know that have it. We're getting past and never gonna get this off my cell phone.
Scene.